He's fitting right in. He's already just...
Yeah,
I'm leaning back.
Relaxed.
I'm ready to go.
Well, he's like a regular now. This is like his, fourth time being in here?
Yeah, I've been here a few times. You know, I know where everything is. I really know where those Cincos are. I think.
Yeah, he came in and I saw him and he's like, yeah, this has been my cheapest visit so far to the Real Shot. We're like, well, we appreciate it, man. Yeah. We'll appreciate it. So
yeah, I've definitely donated to the kids funds this week.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you very much.
No problem.
You guys got me already. That's awesome. All right, well, cool, everybody. Thanks for joining us again, or sticking with us, I should say. Now we got Brandon sitting to my right, who has made it through fishing tomorrow.
We're going.
How you feeling, my man?
I feel good. You know, it was Winnebago, right?
Yep.
You know, it was fun. It was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be after practice.
Well, and that's kind of the consensus from a lot of the guys saying they thought they were coming here to catch smallies.
Right.
Did you find any largies?
You know, I probably weighed in. I think I weighed in 50-some fish, and I bet 20 of them were smallmouth.
Okay.
And not at all what I expected.
Yep.
You know, I came up here, you think, you know, I've enjoyed the North in my career, you know, Champlain, Thousand Islands, you know, St. Clair, you know, it's where I have a lot of my top tens. And so I was excited. Anytime I can go north, I like it, you know, and so not at all what I expected. You know, I got out there the first day and there's no deep water and it was just giant flats. And I was just like, what in the world is this place? And it looked like we were in Florida. The water was black. It was just not at all what I expected. So had to switch gears pretty quick.
Yep.
You know, definitely everything I had rigged, you know, I think I had like, you know, 4 drop shot rods and, you know, purple and weenie and all that stuff, all those colors. I just threw them all in the rod locker.
Yep.
Time to go find something else.
Yep. Nice. Well, we know you got to get going as soon, so we'll kind of make this a quick one here. But so far, like everything, you've been liking the Bago system. You know, you guys going tomorrow to fish a different body of water.
Right.
Did you scout any of that stuff ahead of time?
Did not go to Butamore.
Yes,
perfect.
correct.
That's right
Oh man, how about that?
on.
Yeah,
there you go.
You nailed it.
You know, have not been there. I've had such a tough year, you know, that for me, you know, I needed to make a cut. And so I spent all my time on Winneconne and Winneconne or whatever that is and Winnebago.
Okay.
Because Winneconne was the backup lake.
Right.
So, you know, I kind of split time between them a little bit and just wanted to make sure that I, you know, was prepared for the past 2 days. So
Yep. And
now we'll figure out Butamore
No,
when we get
rumor
there.
has it, though, they might open that up to when it comes.
They may.
Do you think they will? Or?
You know, I don't know if they will or not. You know, we actually had some conversation earlier in the week when we got here about opening everything up for the whole Derby. And, you know, that would have been fun, you know, and I think it would have been a little bit more of a challenge for production,
right,
you know,
for
to
sure.
track everybody. But, you know, so I think generally they'll err on what they publish.
yeah,
You know, so I think if I had to roll the dice and guess right now, I'd say we'll stay on Butamore tomorrow.
Okay.
Interesting.
I mean,
now because they have to ask for the group's consensus. What are you voting for?
you know, I'll listen to both sides. I've not got a text yet, so so I haven't been asked. And I guess when I do, you know, I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I'd probably stay on Butamore.
Okay.
You know, I like to. You know, I've got 4 kids. I'm a dad. I'm pretty regimented, and if I say something, I try to stick to it. So for me, that's what I think we probably should do. That's what we said we were going to do, and let's do it.
Stick to it.
But you know, I mean, if everybody else wants to go, I mean, I'll fish against them anyway they want to go. Let's go. Let's just get out there.
Let's get.
Now, did you go take a drive around green at all, or no?
I did not.
Okay.
You know, it was just like I said. I was focused on one thing, and you know, I fished the Major League format last year, and I liked it. And you know, no practice, I actually did better. I mean, I won the event on Champlain, and you know, with Major League Fishing last year with no practice. So, you know, it doesn't scare me. You know, it doesn't mean I won't go finish 40th tomorrow, but it's not something that bothers me. So, you know, I just want to go.
You got to have some great confidence going into tomorrow, anyways.
Yeah,
right
I mean,
now,
it's
where you're sitting.
Yeah, it's been fun, man. It's, you know, I feel like I've been seeing it well. You know, it's kind of like a baseball player. You know, if you're seeing the ball well, and so far this week, if I see it, you know, it's got fish on it, and you know, it's just fits your eye. It's some lakes don't and some do, and this one seems to. So hopefully it'll translate over the Butte-Moore tomorrow.
Well, I'm glad that the water's been performing well for everybody here. I mean, it's been
blowing me out of the water.
It's been
on
really
how well it's showing.
Really?
It's been awesome.
just you guys coming to the area has been really great. Obviously bringing business all over the place. But I'm a huge fan of MLF, and just coming up here, I think it's opened a lot more guys and gals' eyes to how awesome it really is.
Oh, the fishery, and then listen, we love to take the format everywhere.
Yep.
And I think there's one thing about MLF that's tough, and that is it's hard to explain the excitement of it. It's hard to until you fish it.
Right.
I remember fishing my very first event, and it was on Lake Murray in Oklahoma, and I finished not last, but I didn't make the cut. And I drove home, and I called my wife. We were talking, and I said, you know what? I've just had a terrible event, but I don't ever want to fish another way. I mean, if you played sports in high school, if you did other things, all those things are brought into fishing. All that, baseball games are won in the bottom of the ninth with a single.
Yep.
They're not always want to walk off grand slams.
That's true, man.
And so it brings every aspect of every other sport into this. It has cut weights. It has all these other things. And I can't wait for the world to fish it. I can't wait for it to get to the high school level and the college level and the BFL level and all the different levels. And when it does, we all made the move, and there's a lot of rumors of why we did it. But the number one factor, bar none, was that 50 of us had fished the format, and it was the most fun we've ever had fishing.
Yep.
Guaranteed.
And as a viewer, I
Randy said that. Randy Howell said the same thing yesterday. He said, not that I wasn't having fun, but I wasn't having as much fun as I'm having now.
No doubt.
Just fishing.
It was a welcome change at the right time.
It is. And like I said, it adds all those aspects, especially for the guy, most of these guys on Major Fish are type A personalities, and most of them did other things growing up. And it brings all that back into fishing, and it's intense. I don't want to go. My roommate's Jeff Sprague, and I can't imagine what he went through today.
Oh, man.
Where did he finish today?
He finished 24th or 5th. Ooh. And so Edwin's going to win AOI. And, I know the pressure that I felt yesterday. I remember falling to like 13 pounds ahead of the cut, and I was like starting to feel the pressure. I can't imagine with AOI on the leg.
Well, no, we were talking about that where I was watching. I didn't get to watch the end of it today because we were interviewing Jesse and whatever, but watching Edwin yesterday in the last hour.
Yeah,
oh, man.
And he was at 18th and 19th and 20th and 21st and back up to 18th, and then you could tell in the last like half hour or so his bike kind of slipped away, and he's like, where do I go? What do I do?
Well, you start pushing a little harder.
You could see it just coming down on him.
Oh yeah, and I didn't see live obviously today with Jeff, but I
I'm
can't
sure
imagine.
It's kind of the same.
And I'll hear about it tonight, man, and my heart goes out to him. It's Edwin too, but I room with Jeff. And
right.
So I can't imagine the pressure he was under today. It's just, like I said, I know how it feels just to fight the cut line. You know what I mean? Just on a regular derby,
I think
not with AOI on the.
I think as soon as the average hardcore weekend or tournament guy gets to have a score tracker in his boat,
no doubt,
changes the game instantly.
It changes
That's
everything.
what I think. And I've never done it. I can only I fished a lot of tournaments locally. I can only imagine if I had some guy in the back of my boat telling me how bad I was sucking right now.
That's unbelievable.
I
got a lot of that this year, by the way. I know exactly that feeling. I've had a lot of guys telling me how bad I suck this year.
You know what I mean? Because you already know it. Like, you know if you're not catching fish.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not in a good spot right now. Now I got some guy just reinforcing the fact that I know I suck.
Right.
And he's telling you that your buddy's kicking your ass.
Right.
No, that's all right.
Kicking
You're good to go.
kicking
No,
your
that's
butt.
fine. That's not.
Yeah,
Your butt to more, right?
Yeah, your butt
kicking your butt to more.
Your butt with warts.
So yeah, it's like I said, I got a lot of that this year, but I just can't wait for it to get out there.
Well, see, and I want to fish events with that because I think that would actually push me to go.
Yep,
dude, it does.
I'm a competitor guy. You know what I mean? It's one thing to know you suck, and then you can kind of get in your own head, and then you always got that as a tournament. You always got in the back. Well, maybe the lake's just off today for everybody.
Right.
Right? Well, I mean, somebody always gets on them.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I don't care how bad the bite is that day. Somebody always figures out something in a Big Five tournament. But you can always kind of play that mind game with yourself where maybe it's just really off for everybody type of deal. Where with this,
No.
Okay, there's like 15 guys that are pounding on them.
Yeah. And then
They got 67 pounds, and you've got two.
Two
Come on,
pounds.
dude.
Right?
And
What are
then
you
the
doing?
best thing about it is you see him driving by you on some of these smaller
Exactly,
bodies.
and you're like, wait, there he goes. There he
Yeah,
goes.
what is that? What
No,
does that
it's,
guy got?
it's
Because you can
nuts.
ask individual guys, right? Like if you see a guy drive by you can say, what is...
What's he got?
Yep.
Yeah, and a lot of times they're fishing next to you, and you're like, what's he got? Oh, he's got 42 pounds, and you've got two fish. Awesome. Yeah. It's the other thing, it's people don't realize is, when you're having a tough year, you take a lot of self-inventory, right? A lot of drives home when everybody else is still fishing.
Right.
So, and one thing I realized that, man, in 5 fish tournaments, I was getting bailed out a ton. Big, like really good events, you'd have one. But, man, you caught, like at Chickamauga this year, I caught an 8-pounder, on the first day. I did a 5-fish derby.
Right.
I'm strutting to the stage, baby. I got an 8-pounder. Even if you got 4 3-pounders to go with it, a chick, you're high cotton.
Right.
And but all I did was get lucky and catch an 8-pounder.
Yep.
These guys kicked my teeth in.
Yep.
And I should have got I got drilled. But in a 5-fish tournament, I would have hidden behind that one bite.
Right.
And in this format, you can't hide.
Nope.
You can't hide behind pulling up to one bush and flipping out a 5-pounder, and you walk in like, Joe Stud.
Yep.
But you just flipped in a lucky bush, dude.
Yep.
You didn't. You weren't on them.
Yeah.
But
that's what Brian says quite
you
a bit
get to
about.
I say that all the time. It separates the luck versus the guy who can just catch them. Because
Yeah.
you can't, I've watched every tournament this year. I've watched this one obviously a lot closer because it's my backyard, but I've watched all of them. And if you're not catching a fish every 4 or 5 minutes, you're just, you're losing it.
And
man.
that's exactly what Brent said. If you make a wrong gamble on a trip to someplace else, you're hearing guys catching fish the whole time. You're gone.
dude.
Yeah.
Well, you might leave.
Nuts.
You might get there. You're 10 pounds behind.
Yep.
Dude, I made a run at Smith not at Smith at Table Rock this year, and I made a run the second day to start to close in on the gap. I was 20 pounds down to start the day. I got drilled the first day. I got it to 7, and then my bite stopped. So I went to like 9. I said, "Come on, we're running." I ran 30 minutes up the river. I shut down. He said, "You're 18 pounds down."
Oh,
I gave up every bit of it with a run.
Yeah, it definitely changes the way you play the game. For sure.
dude.
And I got back to 9 pounds, and then they canceled it because of lightning. But, it was still, I made that run, and I lost every bit of everything I worked out for a period and a half.
But you said then they canceled it.
Well,
so you didn't even get
I got cut. I made the run thinking I had 2 hours and 50 minutes of fishing time left.
Oh, yep.
And when I got there, I fished for 40 minutes, cut it to 9. And then the rest of the tournament got canceled. I lost 2 hours of tournament.
At least it paid off.
It paid off, and I made up what I lost on the run. And I think I would have made a run at it with 2 hours left. It wasn't a bad decision. It was just the format.
Right.
Just to give you an idea, you make a 30-minute run, the whole time you're running, you're thinking, score tracker update. I mean, it's just going through your head. You're thinking,
Yep.
I just lost a pound. Then you go another mile. I just lost another
See, and
pound.
I think
then you
that's
go,
what, as soon as guys get to experience that,
Yep.
it'll change their whole attitude towards it.
No doubt.
And I think your analogy with the baseball about the walk-off single in the ninth wins it. What's no different than a 1-pounder versus a 4?
What other sport? I mean, give me one that counts the 5 biggest things.
Right. Even basketball free throws. It always basketball NBA.
Yep.
NBA comes down to free throws at
All
the end.
the
All the time.
So
How many college and NCAA Final Four games have been lost because the team couldn't make free throws?
Well, you look
the whole
at-
game, not always the last
Right.
shot, but the whole game. They didn't make free throws.
Every play counts in every other
Yep.
sport. And if we're going to make this a sport, that just follows logic.
Yep.
Let's
I
make
love
every
that.
play.
That's
let's,
awesome.
let's make every play count.
Yep. Every play count. What's your what's a background? Can you give us like where you got your start and all that kind of
Yeah.
thing?
So I started fishing when I was 3 or 4. Man, I got a jean jacket out boat that my wife got from my mother that has a 1974 Bassmaster Classic patch on. I was 4 years old.
Wow.
And that's just all I ever wanted to do when I was growing up. And made a couple. I was the youngest qualifier for the Redman Regional 2 years in a row when I was 17 and 18, and then I quit fishing. Because at 18, I made the regional, but I had a 1.4 GPA in college. Was going nowhere fast. And so I'd moved from Pennsylvania to Tennessee to go to school. And so I quit fishing for 12 years. And then owned some businesses, sold some businesses, was very fortunate. And then my wife, who's incredible, she decided we went in to look at a State Farm agency, and I thought that would just be my next thing to do, and she wanted to run it. And so it gave me an opportunity to go fishing. So in 2006 or 7, I started with FLW, fished there for, until 7 years ago. And then I qualified for I have 4 kids, so 2 older boys, coached a lot of sports and stuff. And FLW was a great venue for that. Only 6 or 7 tournaments. It was a great place to have kids and have time still with them. And so once the kids were kind of off and in college and doing that, the girls are younger, and I'm not good at picking out prom dresses. So, we decided to go ahead and take a shot, and went and qualified for the Opens, went through the Opens, qualified for the Elite Series, fished the Elite Series, got invited to MLF, won an event last year, got invited to the Bass Pro Tour, and here we are.
Oh,
That's
there
awesome.
it is.
So
there it is. Awesome. I'm just going to double check the time. I know you got to get rolling here pretty quick. I got one last question for you before we cut you loose, because I know there's some new people showing up.
Okay.
Go-to boat snack. What are you bringing in the boat with you?
My go-to, man, that's so easy. I mean, Crockett Creek beef jerky.
There it
Come
is.
on, dude.
That's what I wanted to
how
hear.
is that?
That's what I wanted
that's
to
like
hear.
the easiest thing in the world.
Yep.
And trust me, if they would let me have this in the boat, I'd crack one of those at the break too. But
were we talking
Coronas
to yesterday?
aren't on the.
It was Ish. It was Ish that because he said you got to have Brandon bring you some jerky tomorrow, that's
right.
why I asked you for that honey jalapeno.
Dude, we're out. It's I've got a bunch out there. I'll bring y'all some in, but
Nice.
and I don't know if you know it or not, but I've got I got shut down after a few tournaments, but we have a tap built into the side of the truck.
That's awesome.
We gotta get a picture of that.
We have a tap in the side of the truck.
They made you
And
take
so-
it off, huh?
Yeah, they MLF was they thought it was cool at first.
Yeah.
and then maybe not so cool.
Oh, I can't see what's wrong with that.
With Corona, we do some events with it and stuff. We'll take the truck and
Oh,
do
that's
some
really
stuff.
cool.
So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. But I don't put the tap on it a lot here anymore, unfortunately.
Do
But
you,
it's
do you have it
awesome.
with you right now?
Yeah.
Because Michelle,
It's not yeah.
Michelle said she wants us to send her some pictures.
Okay.
So
We'll do it.
before you roll out of
we'll
here,
roll out there. We'll put the tap on it.
We'll grab a couple pictures.
grab a picture and we'll get you some jerky.
Oh,
That's
man.
awesome.
That is really cool. Well, obviously, we'd like to spend more time with you, but you're a busy man.
Appreciate it, guys.
You got something going on tomorrow that I think is pretty much important
gotta
business.
Gotta go try to make a top 10.
Try to and make some other events. So
Well, I hope you make it to Green. I'll be on the water on Sunday if you guys.
Perfect.
I'm going to be out there. So.
I signed a spinnerbait for your boy, and I
Yep.
told him to bring it in case I lose all mine. I can,
Well,
I can
both
throw
both
it.
my
man.
sons will be in the bowl with me on
That'd be
Sunday.
awesome.
That's
Or
awesome.
Whoever makes it. So.
yeah, it's so cool having you guys here, and we appreciate you making time to come to the Real Shot and hang out with us, and plus buy a little bit of things. while you're here.
I've done my job there. I've fulfilled my commitment.
Oh,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's
So,
awesome.
Excellent.
Thanks
Cool,
a lot,
guys.
buddy.
Appreciate
Good luck
it, guys.
tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Good
Thanks
luck.
a lot, guys. Take care.
Cool.